Well, welcome to a brand new Rugby League season and a brand new season of The Last Tackle here on The Sportsman. We'll be with you every step of the way throughout 2024. We're here in Wigan, ahead of the Betfred World Club Challenge. The excitement is building. Let's see what this season has in store.
Welcome to the show that has it all. This is the Betfred Super League.
What a game!
Champions, challengers, newcomers, leagues faithful, hold on tight. This show hits harder than any on earth.
Cheeky, that is superb! Wow. What a try!
You feel it in the stands. Pride, passion, glory. This is where the impossible happens. A new season, new heroes, new hopes, new dreams. See more games than ever, with more stars on show.
Oh, it's magical! It's brilliant!
This is the Betfred Super League 2024. There's nothing like league.
Yeah, brand new Rugby League season. We'll be with you every step of the way here on the Sportsman Rugby League with The Last Tackle every Wednesday, 6 o'clock. And of course, we have got a huge game on the horizon. The Betfred World Club Challenge, Wigan Warriors against the Penrith Panthers, and alongside me now, Wigan's head coach, Matty Peat. Matty, we'll get on to how big Saturday is in a second, but let's just touch on the weekend just gone. Betfred Super League up and running with a win for you guys. Pleased with your work?
Yeah, it was a big challenge to go to Castleford at the weekend. I think round one, every team's on top note. Castleford at home is always one of the more demanding, more challenging games, and with the weather as well, it was a tough test. There was the threat of players looking past that game and towards this weekend, but I liked our intent, I liked our attitude. It would have been nice to get through with everyone clean bill of health. We lose Luke Thompson, but on the whole, I thought we got a good mix of showing our toughness through some tough periods and scoring some decent tries as well.
Which leads us on to the World Club Challenge on Saturday night. I would imagine that games like this are why you do the job that you do.
Yes, definitely. I think the why anyone's involved in sport, I think you want to be involved in the big occasions, in the big games, and against some of the best in the world. So it's a great opportunity for myself and us as a team, us as a club, to be on the big stage and challenge ourselves against what is ultimately one of the best teams in recent history.
And in terms of your kind of journey as a group and what you're trying to achieve as a club, obviously Challenge Cup winners a couple of years ago, League Leaders Shield, Grand Final winners. This feels like the kind of natural progression now for you guys, I guess.
Yeah, it does. So it'll be another opportunity to learn for us. Like I say, it's a challenge, it's a test, and it's one we're going to look to give our best, look to win. But ultimately, I'm looking at what we can learn about ourselves, whether it goes really well or not so well. Not perfect. It'll be a chance for us to, like I said, to test ourselves and to learn just exactly where we're at as a team, as an individuals, as a staff. So it's a great experience. We look forward to it.
How do you prepare for a game like this, kind of this early on in the season? Because a cup final, a grand final, usually you're coming into those, with plenty of wind in your sails. This time around, you're pretty fresh into the season.
Yeah, my first thought is to say that it's business as usual. It's another game for us, and in many ways our processes remain the same. The way we look at our opposition, the way we practice on the field. But there has been things in pre-season what have happened because of this game. We've played some of our players more minutes in the pre-season fixtures, in the friendlies, particularly our forward pack. With this game in mind, we do feel an edge we could possibly gain was being a little more battle hardened. So some of our training has been particularly physical, and as I mentioned, playing those lads in them 2 pre-season games and then at the weekend against Castleford, we're hoping he's going to have us at our best come the weekend.
Now, when you look at the squad that you guys have got and the way you were last season, there's obviously no reason that you couldn't go toe-to-toe with Penrith in any environment. That said, how important is it going to be to really take them out of their comfort zone on Saturday night?
I think what we have to concentrate on is playing our best rugby. We're on our own stadium. familiar settings, familiar climate for us. So we have to look to get as close as we can to our good rugby and what we believe we look like when we're at our best, both in attack and defence. And that's our best way to put pressure on Penrith, not to change too much, not to adapt too much for Penrith, but more to seek our best form. And that's the ultimate compliment we compare them.
And you've got quite a really balanced squad when you look at the youth and the experience in your side, and forwards and backs. But how important is your leadership group in weeks like this?
Yeah, to be honest, it's the most important thing culturally. The way we behave, the way we manage the process every week. I wouldn't say more so because it's a big game. I feel like the result of our leadership group, the result of our environment, our approach to learning and getting better is ultimately what makes us a champion team, what's earned us the right to play in this game. So I think the leadership group, the part they play in it, and the effect they have on this team is huge.
And it's a completely different kettle of fish to what St Helens had to go and do last year, and in every way it's a different game. But have you looked at how they kind of got that win? Have you looked at what they did against Penrith and taken any lessons out of that?
Yeah, I think there's some things St Helens did really well, and to be honest, are the fundamentals of the game, and they're the things that St Helens have been excellent at for a few years. I don't think they adapted their game too much. I think they were just willing to go toe to toe with Penrith to push themselves, and maintain their standards in a more intense setting. And I think that's what it's about, more so than trying to find a new way, a new game plan to try and win this game. I think it's about being at your best, being at your most intense, not giving in when it gets difficult. And that's what St Helens did, and that's what we'll have to do come this week, because doing those things is something that Penrith pride themselves on. They're an intense team. They don't go away, they stay in the battle, and that's why they win consistently. Where
are games like this won?
As I mentioned, I think the team that gets closest to the best, I think the team that handles the game management and the physical battle of the game the best will come out on top. I think both teams have got the talent and the flair to post points, so it'll be which team can get a foothold in the game and earn the most opportunities to express those talents.
It's going to be your first World Club challenge as a head coach. It's been a while since the town of Wigan has had a night like this. How important is it that this isn't a flash in the pan, and that as big as Saturday night is, that you've also got eyes on being here year after year?
Yeah, it's huge. I think whatever happens on Saturday night, I think if that was the end of us in big games for a few years, then we'd be really disappointed. I think the most important thing out of Saturday is it's another step for us. Win or lose, we learn, we get better, and it's a great opportunity for us to find out about ourselves, to hopefully bring the trophy home to Wigan, but as well to improve off the back of it.
And a sellout as well. How much of a role will that crowd play? Because it's going to be 24,000 Wigan fans, and they're going to make a lot of noise.
Yeah, it's going to be really influential. I think Penrith will rise to the occasion as well. So I think what it is going to do is make for an intense game. And I've been blown away by the excitement around this fixture. I couldn't believe how early it sold out, and I know people have been clamouring for tickets despite the fact it's sold out. So we probably could have sold this out plus a few more, and it's testament to the state of rugby league, not just in Wigan but in the northwest of England, and I think it could be a great night for British rugby league. We're
going to have such a proud history in this game, in this competition. What would it mean to you on a personal level to write your name next to a bit more of it?
We'll write our name, to see this group of players on a podium with another trophy, celebrating, having tested themselves against the best, would mean the world, not just to me but to everyone within the organisation. And that's why we will love these big games. That's why we do what we do, to enjoy them with our friends and families and supporters. So yeah, can't wait.
Well, Matty, thanks for joining us. Best of luck on Saturday. Wigan Warriors are ready for the World Club Challenge. Let's hear from one of the men that they're going to have to stop, Nathan Cleary. Welcome to Manchester, welcome to Betfred Super League country. An opportunity Another opportunity for you guys in the World Club Challenge. What's the excitement like now that you've landed, now you've got your feet on the ground here?
Yeah, really excited. I think there's that kind of feel amongst the whole group. Just happy to be here and happy with not only the challenge but opportunity that presents itself in being able to play in another World Club Challenge. Us as a club, we never won one, so it's a bit of history there that we can chase. But to be honest, just focus on the process, not so much the result at the moment, and just settling in and getting adjusted to the time zone and stuff like that.
A different opposition, obviously, but does this feel like an opportunity to put last year right for you guys?
It does a bit. Obviously, last year's last year, and as you said, it's different opposition. But in saying that, it's still a great side. So it's sort of a little bit of redemption about it. Trying to turn around what happened last year, but it's a completely different scenario. And I think just being over here is a great opportunity as well to do something special.
And a Wigan club with so much history, a great team in their own right, but obviously over the years they've had plenty of impressive tussles with Australian sides and overseas sides. Does that kind of history and aura around the event make this even more of a game that you want to play in?
Yeah, for sure. I think Wigan have won quite a few World Club challenges, and they've been a powerhouse for such a long time now. So it does sort of add to it. And you look at the history of World Club challenges, and now we're lucky enough to be a team actually coming over to England to play. So and just the fact that the game's sold out. A lot of Wigan fans there. I think they're giving us a fair bit of stick and getting stuck into us. But it's something that it's just something that you get to experience, and really looking forward to that.
And obviously, it's called the World Club Challenge for a reason. When you add in the travel, the conditions, the slight adjustments in rules, styles, all of that kind of thing. I guess all of those things are things that you don't have to think about in your kind of regular NRL season.
Yeah, you're right. It is a bit different, obviously, at the start of the year as well. Sort of no trial games lead into it, but it's such a big game and it's our first game. So just trying to get that right. There are a few different rules and different conditions, just different environment. But I think that adds to the whole challenge and opportunity of it. And it's something we're really looking forward to.
How much kind of homework, awareness of your opposition do you have going into Saturday?
Yeah, a fair bit. I think it'll sort of build as the week goes on, and we'll learn more and watch more video. But there's a fair few boys in the team that keep an eye on the Super League as it is anyway. So sort of know who's doing well, and was watching Wigan a fair bit last year, and they got a lot of X factor and a lot of strikes. So it's going to have to be on our game for sure.
And when you think about the last few years, obviously the pandemic and a reduced, disrupted international calendar over the last 3, 4, 5 years, does that make opportunities like this to come over and play, essentially international footy, ones that you think you'll look back on in your career with fond memories?
Absolutely. I think you can sort of make the best memories, I guess, when you're travelling as a team and doing something that you don't do that often. I think us as a squad, sort of over the last 3 years, haven't even travelled overseas to New Zealand or anything like that. So now to come over on the other side of the world and be presented with this opportunity, it's really cool. And you want to be able to win it though, to look back on it with fond memories. So that's our main goal.
Yeah, the excitement is building in Wigan ahead of the Betfred World Club Challenge on Saturday. But of course, the Betfred Super League got underway at the weekend, and we went to Humberside to take an inside look at the whole derby.
Even if you're not part of the rugby family of this city, which would be shock if you want, but even if you want, you'd have extended family or friends who are, and you see how much it means, so much to live and breathe it, and it means so much to them rugby in this city, and also over so many years how getting one over on each other means to them and how it affects their life.
You're one or the other. Everyone's a black and white or a red and white. Even if you don't follow the scores every week, you've got an affiliation one sense or the other. There's nothing I've come across, like travelling around the world and living in different cities, that is quite like Hull v Rovers.
It's a very working class city, it's a hard city, there's not a lot of prosper going on here. So people look to the rugby league team, they look to sport to be the catalyst to happiness, really.
The thing of working in a factory or in a shop, or the working class, just go out and earn your living because on a Sunday you want to go and watch your team, or on a Friday night as it is these days.
Even though we have Hull City, what are doing well and they're a big team and stuff like that, credit to them, but for me I think Hull's a rugby town.
Yeah, definitely a rugby town. You just go through the amateurs, you go through West Hull, Scala, you've got a lot of players what have come from them teams, what have represented Hull and Rovers. So it's passionate. It's a big passionate city.
Yeah. But it is the only true derby in rugby league, because there's no other, in Super League especially, there's two clubs from the same city. There ain't none of that, I don't think. Leeds, Bradford, St Helens, Wigan, they're all separate places. Hull and Rovers is the main proper derby.
From about seven days ago, everybody's starting to talk about it. You're hearing it on the radio, on the television, and then you wake up this morning, you think this is it, this is Derby Day, let's go. They won't be singing like this later.
So surreal, and probably one of the reasons why we won today is because we only got allocated 4,000, and we said that we could have filled it maybe 2.5 times that, and I really felt that was a driving force this week, is that why they're not allocated as even more is because obviously they fear our fans and the loud noise that they make and stuff like that, and it don't matter if there's 1 or 8,000, they make that much noise. It's absolutely fantastic for us players.
Yeah, the Betfred Super League season up to an absolute stormer. You can watch that full feature on this YouTube channel, but right now we are talking about the Betfred World Club Challenge. Wigan Warriors going to battle at the weekend with the Penrith Panthers, and one of the men on the front line, Mike Cooper. Mike, how exciting is this?
Yeah, it's going to be an unbelievable experience. Packed out stadium full of our own fans, and we know what the challenge is ahead of us, but we're well prepared, and we just can't wait for Saturday now.
When this fixture got announced, how quickly did it become a kind of exciting thing on that horizon, something that you guys are working towards?
Obviously, as soon as we won the grand final, we knew we was heading into this, and this has been our focus all the way through pre-season. Everything's been in preparation for this, so we've given it everything that we've got. We know how good Penrith are going to be, but we've got to play our own game, play to our strengths, and let the crowd get behind us, and we'll see what happens.
You've got international experience, of course. Is that the kind of environment you're expecting on Saturday, a test match style game?
Yeah, definitely. It'll be a hostile, which obviously we're used to over here with the difference in crowds. The crowds are a lot louder over here than they are in the NRL, and I think that may be a bit of advantage for us. But as I said, Penrith are obviously the world-class team. One of the best teams the last couple of years in the NRL where they've done it, and they'll come here prepared, and obviously they'll want to win after they got beat last year. So we're expecting them to be at full strength.
You mentioned it will be hostile, but do you need that? Do you need that environment? Obviously, a packed out DW, is that going to be a real kind of weight behind you guys as well?
I think last year we sort of went through all different scenarios where like we played at Castleford last week. We went from playing at Castleford to playing here. Some of us played in reserves last week, and the other lads have played in the grand finals the game before that. So used to playing in different crowds, different noise levels, different environments every single week. But ultimately, when you're a kid and you start playing rugby league, this is the type of game you want to be playing. Playing in. So we just can't wait.
You mentioned as well they're coming off into this on the back of disappointment last year. Are you kind of aware that you're probably facing a bit of a wounded animal in that respect?
Yeah, obviously I've been out there, and I know the Australians won't want to get beat twice. And like I said, they're a quality team, well coached, internationals across the park for them. So they won't want to come over here and get turned over. But we want them to be at the best. We wouldn't prefer it to have a weakened team in front of us. So bring on the challenge, and we're ready for it.
They've got some big units in that forward pack. It's going to be a firefight up front, but you guys, especially in the pack, you seem pretty switched on and strong this season.
Yeah, they've got some big lads, but so have we, and that'll be, as in any game rugby league, the forwards battle is crucial. As I said, they're world-class players, but I know what we've got here. and we give it our best shot, we give them a good chance. So it's not just about the forwards, obviously, but it is crucial, and we're well prepared. Obviously, we've had a game already, and we're ready to go.
And when you think about Wigan as a club and what's happened in the last few years, obviously a Challenge Cup final win a few years ago, a grand final win last season, does this feel like the next step to building a bit of a dynasty?
Of course, you play for Wigan, expectations are high that we want to win trophies. And obviously this is one that we've earmarked and we want to win, so we'll be giving it our best shot. We can't be any better prepared than what we are currently. There'll be no excuses, and they'll bring the best, we'll bring the best, and we'll see who comes out on top.
Always strikes me when you spend any time around Wigan. Matty Pete seems like a pretty relaxed guy. His coaching staff around him seem pretty relaxed. What's it like in this setup when you're approaching these big games?
We're pretty chilled out. The work's been done. We've been prepping for this since some lads have been in since October, so we've been prepping for a long time. So there's no point getting too ahead of yourselves on a Monday and a Tuesday. The game's not till Saturday, so we'll build the week up as we go along. But we're calm and we're confident because we've done the work, and we're not playing the game now, are we? So, but we have a lot of fun here. We have a lot of conversations, a lot of quiet time, and as I said, there's no point playing the game now.
Do you feel like you've got a little bit of a point to prove on behalf of, I guess, Rugby League in this country and Super League against Penrith, or is that something more that for other people to talk about?
I think the game over there is, the Super League is always downplayed a little bit, but that's just due to the lack of media attention that we get. But I think the Aussie lads and lads who play in the NRL come over here, respect the game, recognise how hard it is. I think a lot of the coaches do. Obviously, we've had a lot of English lads go over there and do pretty well. So, it's not, we are representing, Wigan, but I guess we are representing the game as well in the UK, and I guess it'll be more like a test match, really.
And you mentioned that lack of media coverage. This game is live on Sky and the BBC. It's going to have a national audience. Is there a sense that a win on Saturday could send ripples that sort of transcends rugby league a little bit?
Yeah, that's not something we'd probably think about too much, but I guess it will do, and it'll be nice for us to go 2-0 for Super League over the NRL. Obviously, we Saints doing it last year, so look, our focus is a win. The more media coverage, the better for the game. It means more money in the game for the future, and for the future kids coming through, they'll get more money in their pocket, and that's only a good thing.
And that Wigan jersey comes soaked in so much history, especially in this competition. Is that kind of something that you relish, the opportunity to make more of that history and write your name in it?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things about coming here was you're only renting the jersey. You're not, it's not just given to you. You've got to be better than what the person was before, and you've got to leave it in a better place. And obviously, you take the number 13 shirt at this club, which is a famous number, and you look at the history and heritage there. So when you wear the jersey, you've got to be on your best, and for us who are going out there on Saturday night, we want to make sure that if the next team who plays in the World Cup Challenge, we're leaving it in a good place.
And it is one of those cliches, isn't it? The winning becomes a habit, but does a win on Saturday set you up for the rest of the season and set you up for more silverware?
Potentially, but this is a bit of a one-off game. It's kind of like knockout rugby league. So I wouldn't say that we win this, we're set for the grand final or the Challenge Cup final. This is a one-off game. Something we'll attack and we'll reassess, and the season is what the season is after that.
Well, best of luck at the weekend, mate.
Thank you.
Really mean it. Wigan going into battle against Penrith, packed out DW Stadium. These guys are up for it. So are the Panthers. Let's hear from their camp. What's the feeling like amongst junior teammates ahead of this?
Yeah, it's really exciting. I think it's a first time for a lot of us being in the country here, so really just enjoying it for what it is and exploring the city. First training session today, good little hit out, good to get the body moving again, and just looking forward to the week ahead.
And obviously, week in, week out, you're playing in NRL, but is these experiences the kind of things that you really look forward to in your career?
Yeah, 100%. We obviously had the chance to win this game last year and we didn't. So to do it again this year and get a second chance and just prove to the NRL and the Super League that hopefully we're the better team this weekend.
And obviously different opposition last year, but does what happened over at your place in the World Club Challenge last year, is that kind of extra motivation for what's coming this time around?
Yeah, it is for me anyway. I'm pretty pretty upset with the result last year. So yeah, it'll be good to get out there and give it a second go this weekend. And yeah, I don't know about the rest of the boys, but yeah, it adds a little bit of fuel to the fire for me.
How much homework have you done on Wigan?
I've done a little bit of homework on them. We, yeah, I'll probably do some a little bit more, tonight and sort of leading into the week. Yeah, they're obviously an unreal team. They won it last year, and yeah, just some really good players, and yeah, it'd be good to verse them and test ourselves with them.
And a lot of the boys that come over from the NRL to play in Super League kind of tend to suggest there's a little bit of a different style of footy, tactically a little bit different. Are you as a group kind of aware of that, especially after last year?
Yeah, very aware of the tactics, obviously the conditions, the crowd. A little bit of a different sort of rule set being international footy. So yeah, we're all aware of that. We've all been addressed with that, and yeah, just go out there and play our best game and yeah, win.
So there we have it. Time for the talking to finish and the action to start. The Betfred World Club Challenge Saturday night. Wigan Warriors against the Penrith Panthers. Packed out DW Stadium. It's going to be an absolute belter. And don't forget, more Rugby League coming your way on Sunday right here on the Sportsman as we continue our Betfred Challenge Cup journey. We've got Swinton versus Oldham. Should be an absolute belter as well. We'll be back next week as well. More from The Last Tackle. Make sure you've subscribed. We'll see you soon.